Welcome back to Flip That Script. I'm Dana,
And I'm Holly.
and today we're talking about something that lives in almost all of us, limiting beliefs. It's those sneaky little thoughts that feel like facts, but were never actually yours to begin with.
They can really creep in and become a part of you without you even realizing it.
Can. And you won't even know where they came from. They're just there. They're a part of you. But I mean, the
And
good thing is we can get rid of those. We don't have to be limited in our beliefs.
right. And let's talk about where they do come from. A lot of times it comes from our childhood, as most of our limiting beliefs are formed before the age of 8, when the brain is in that theta state, which is a highly suggestible state, just like what Dana and I take you in hypnotherapy. So, what you heard, saw, or experienced in that time becomes internalized in your subconscious as truth. And we're really forming these limiting beliefs oftentimes from birth to those first 8 years. They can also come from family and culture, beliefs that are passed down, like money doesn't grow on trees, women must be quiet, you have to suffer to succeed. You have to work hard to get money. And then, of course, there is trauma or repetition where limiting beliefs can also come from. So, a single emotional event or even a repeated experience can create a belief loop. If love was withheld when you cried or spoke up, then your nervous system might decide it's not safe to be seen.
Right. And we can do it to ourselves too if we say, "Oh, I'm never on time for anything." You're never going to be on time for anything because you've put that belief in your mind and you've wired your mind to think I'm always going to be late. And so you are always late. This leads back to the procrastination. Or if you say that you're lazy and you have that belief then that you're lazy and you're just not going to want to do things. Or I'm not good enough. Even I can't trust anyone. I can't
Yes.
trust anyone is a big one because you've had trust and it's been broken. But I mean, really, there's a lot of people that you can trust. You have to allow that. And having those limited beliefs really limits your life. It limits the joy that you could have.
I definitely think you saying, I can't trust anyone. That also boils down to you can't trust yourself.
Right.
Your body takes it and your mind takes it as anyone includes you. And while these facts, these things that we're saying are not true, but they feel true. And they're like tattooed in your mind, right? They're like left there messages that are patterns.
Even like body shaming yourself. And anyway, like my hair's too curly. My hair's too straight. And you say that to yourself enough. I mean, that's why people with curly hair always want straight hair and people with straight hair always want curly hair because they tell themselves the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes.
I mean, you have the power to rewrite them though, because you're not broken. You're not stuck. You're just simply repeating an old story. You're the mixtape on repeat. I guess it's not a tape anymore, but
You're on Spotify going around and around,
broken
stuck on
record.
one thing. Yes. Yes. But I mean, limiting beliefs don't just live in our minds, they ripple through. Your relationships can suffer because you are, you can become emotionally unavailable to your partner, or you are shrinking yourself to be accepted. And then even in your career, you're undercharging, you're not charging what you're worth. you're procrastinating, and you're fearing success. I mean,
Yes.
it's amazing how limiting beliefs can affect us because even your health, you feel not worthy of rest or wellness. You feel undeserving of taking care of yourself because of this loop of limiting beliefs.
Like even thinking that you can't ever find the right partner. There's that person isn't out there. So then what happens is you end up just settling for something less than what you actually want. That's not good either, because that's not true. You're limiting yourself. When if you want a partner that's going to be all of the things that you want, that person's out there.
They really act like filters. Um, they are leading and guiding your decisions, and they actually block your path forward. You don't see the reality, you see your belief about the reality. Just
Mhm.
like you're saying, Dana, there's nobody out there for me. So you just keep choosing whoever can give you what you need in a moment, but not in a lifetime, because that's your belief. You believe that, and therefore, then your mind lines up, your body lines up, and that's what you do. And so breaking that cycle of those limited beliefs are so important.
Even like believing that you deserve bad things to happen to you, that's, can cause a lot of trauma in your life. If you believe that you don't deserve the good job at work, you don't deserve the promotion, you're not going to get the promotion because you've set yourself up that way.
Or even nothing good ever happens to me. Everything goes wrong. That's
Mhm.
saying it in a different way, but that's what's going to happen because now that's your belief. Saying
Right.
that creates that as a belief. Becoming aware, I think, just listening to your inner voice can really help with pinpointing some of the limiting beliefs that you have.
Right. And that's why, too, it's good when, you love someone or with your children to let them know their worth. Let them know they can do it and they can do anything that they want and they can have anything that they want, that they're worth wanting more than just settling. Then they'll believe it. And their beliefs won't be limited to not feeling worthy or not thinking they can trust people or not thinking that they deserve something better.
Yes. I love how you brought that up about children. And I think even friends or family or anyone, when I hear someone say, I'm so stupid, or I'll never have that, I'm not smart enough, I can't go to college, I barely made it out of high school. And just turning it around for them, and especially children, because they are young and you don't want them to carry that all the way through their life. And not that children are more important than adults. Even as an adult, we need to flip that script in our mind. And we need to say, what would I do if I believed the opposite? I mean, that's a great place to start. With our kids, we can kind of turn it around. You are not stupid. You are brilliant in your own way with your own talents. But as an adult, when we hear that inner critic tell us, you're stupid, ask yourself, what would I do if I believed the opposite was true? And just focus on that.
Right. And it's not this voice that you're hearing that's telling you you're not good enough or it's not intuition. It's really the voice of conditioning. And you can kind of like give that voice, like, whose voice is it? Because it's not
Yes.
your higher self. It is not your higher self because your higher self would never limit you. And maybe you could give
Right.
that voice a name. We're back to naming voices, but it is a voice. It's a critical voice. It's the same kind of turn on, I guess. But
It is. And it you can quiet it.
Right. It's not a flaw, though. You didn't realize was getting put into your subconscious that someone has repeated enough times in enough instances. You may have repeated them to yourself. It may be you doing it to yourself. Like saying, I'll never have money, or people always leave me, or
Yes.
this is just how I am.
Yes.
This is just how I am. No, if you know something, you can always improve yourself.
I mean, these beliefs live in our subconscious, not in our conscious mind. And again, most were inherited and created when we were young. I mean, even what Dana said about money, a lot of things I heard growing up was money is the root of all evil. So how are you supposed to receive wealth without guilt and open to gaining wealth if your belief that is stuck on repeat in your subconscious is money is the root of all evil?
Right. Right.
It definitely affects every aspect of your life, because if that is a truth within your mind, then you don't feel you deserve the raise. You don't feel you deserve a better job. You aren't open to that receiving of money and allowing it to flow through you, to you and through you.
And even like you said about trauma, that's where false truths can enter your body and your brain. That
Yes.
it's kind of a self-sabotage or shrinking.
It takes once to form a belief, especially when it's charged with fear or shame or any other trauma that you go through. It only takes once. And then that's your new belief.
Right. Even like in school, teachers, they've put a lot of those in you too. Teachers, religious leaders, and parents. Those are the main ones that formed your limiting beliefs. And I know they didn't mean to, I'm sure.
Right.
So with intention, we need to mind what we say to others, and especially our children.
Especially our children.
With intention, make sure that we're not saying, what are you, stupid? Why would you do that? What's wrong
Yeah.
with you? These things can really leave an impression. When you're telling your kid what's wrong with you all the time, they're like, something's wrong with me. What is wrong with me? And there's nothing
Yes.
wrong. They just need to learn, or whatever they did was a mistake. We teach them in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So no, that's not how this is done. This is how you do this. Da 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 da.
So if you really pay attention to the things you do, and remember, we're always modeling for those around us, whether it's our kids, our siblings, our friends, our spouses, our partners, whoever it is, we're always modeling. And being around people, we will pick up and do the same things that they do. So really sneaky ways that you can realize that you have limiting beliefs, over apologizing. And we did talk about that when we talked about self-worth, over apologizing. So you don't think you're worthy of whatever it is that you were apologizing for. Just like if you go to say something, well, I really think this. Oh, I'm sorry, though. I don't mean it in any way to harm anybody. You didn't think that your opinion was worthy enough to speak. Or self-sabotage, not applying for the job because you don't think that you should have it, not resting because you haven't done enough. And somewhere in there, there is a limiting belief that you have. Asking yourself, whose belief is this? Well, what did I have to believe about myself in order to survive in that moment? Or what is it that I've heard my entire childhood and adult life that has caused me to feel this way? I mean, often procrastination is used as protection. Not that you're lazy, it's that you're not wanting to move forward. It's a protective mechanism. When we did the episode on procrastination, we talked more in depth about that as well.
You know, a way to identify them is to listen for absolutes, like always, never, or can't. If you're saying
Yes.
that, that's a limiting belief. That is something in your program. Notice too, like your greatest hits that are on repeat. See what's on repeat. What do you find yourself always saying to yourself? That's a limiting
Yes.
belief. And then, it's if the belief shrinks you, shames you, or silences you in any way, then it's not your truth. It's not your truth. That's your programming. It's the way that you flinch from your own greatness. That's proof that something old is still running the show.
Yes.
So,
And I mean, limiting beliefs aren't just thoughts, they live in our body as well. They can show up
absolutely.
as tension, anxiety, avoidance. And our body remembers what kept us safe, even if it's outdated. And that's how hypnotherapy really works as well with the nervous system to bring safety to new truths. It invites, your body to release the emotions that it's holding on to. So when you have that limiting belief, stop for a minute and breathe and say, where do I feel this in my body? What is my
Mhm.
body trying to tell me by feeling that? And listen to your body and then just allow it to release and leave you.
Right. So, Holly, how can we dismantle them? Can we get into that? How do we
Yeah.
stop the limiting beliefs and the
I think the first thing is awareness.
Mhm.
Name it. This is a belief. It is not true. But just because we believe something doesn't make it true. So this is a belief. It's not my truth. Challenge it. What's the evidence of this belief? Where did it come from? And then flip it. Try saying the opposite. Even if it doesn't feel right, try it on. Try it on. And then borrow energy from your future self. Like, what would your future self do? Ask yourself, would your future self feel like this, the future that you want to walk into?
Absolutely not. So, just think, reframe that belief. Think of what's a truer, kinder, more powerful belief that you would rather have. And say that to yourself. And you can anchor that new belief with emotion, some kind of ritual that you do, not or repetition. And well, hello, hypnotherapy. That's the perfect tool
Yes.
right there.
We know some people who could help. I, the ritualistic reinforcement of telling yourself over and over, affirmations, mirror work, standing in that mirror in that Wonder Woman pose like Dana. I love that Dana always brings that up because that's so powerful. And standing in
And
that mirror and reading those affirmations.
make eye contact with yourself in that mirror while you do it. Really connect with that.
Yes.
Even you could even make a voice recording and record the reframe, record your new belief as a voice memo, like on your phone or something, and listen to it daily so that you're hearing it being told to you. You are beautiful. You are great. You are the best hypnotherapist I've ever seen, Holly.
You
You
are
know,
worthy. Yeah, I mean, you are worthy.
you-
My body is just as it should be. Definitely when it comes to bodies, we can be very self-conscious, very self-critical. I know growing up, my mother always told me, I can look back and see how thin I was then. And my mother always told me, you're so fat. You don't need to eat that. You're so fat. And so for most of my life, that's what I believed. And because I believed it, I did gain a lot of weight because that was my
same,
belief. So
same happen.
changing that and loving your body and knowing that your body is doing what the best that it can do, and then allowing that emotion to move out. So I definitely think affirmations about your body are important.
Mhm. You know, if you're wanting a promotion and you're thinking that you can't get it, the voice recording would be great for that. Tell yourself you work hard. You deserve that promotion. Like, just pick whatever it is, make your affirmation about that and listen to it daily, and then you'll see. You'll probably get that promotion because you believe you deserve it. When, like, a boss is trying to decide who gets the promotion, he's not going to pick the guy or the woman, whoever is like slunk in the corner, not speaking up, saying, I'm good at this. They can see that confidence that you can get if you can just silence those limiting beliefs, change them, flip that script.
Yes. I think one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I've had to deal with in my life is the belief that, especially as a woman, you should not say good things about yourself. You should not, in confidence, say, I'm really good at that. I would be really great at this job. I would be an asset to you if I had that position. But I was always raised with, you need to sit down, be quiet, be humble, not
Be
share what's
humble.
good about you. Be humble, not share what's good about you. Be thankful that you have what you have. And we should be thankful. But the way it was said to me was, be thankful for what you have because that's all you need and you don't deserve anymore. So it
Mhm.
was said in that way. But just like Dana said, that is not what a company is looking for, a person is looking for to hire you. They're looking for someone who is willing to admit, I can do this and do this well. That doesn't make us conceited. It doesn't make us self-absorbed. It doesn't make us selfish. It means that we know who we are, and we need to know who we are. And it's good to know who we are and to celebrate the fact that we're good at this. Dana is good at things that I am not, and I am good at things that Dana is not. And that's the great difference between us. And I can celebrate hers, and she can celebrate herself as well as she can celebrate mine. And I've finally flipped that script to be able to say, yeah, hey, I'm good at this.
Right. Right. It's a wonderful feeling too, to say I'm worth the money that I earn or more.
Yes,
And my time is valuable. My time is valuable.
exactly.
That's another one that a lot of people, they'll do things for pennies when they could be making much more because they don't think their time's as valuable as, even if that's a simple job, it's your time is valuable.
They will completely overextend themselves to the point that they don't get rest. They cannot do the things that they need to do for themselves or their family to please someone else.
Right.
And while it is noble and honorable to help another person, it isn't when it's harming yourself, when it's taking away from the basic needs that you have, the needs that your family has. No is the complete sentence, and it's all right to say no. And we are worthy of saying no. I would love to help, and maybe another time I can. But right now, I have too much on my schedule to do this thing.
Right. Absolutely.
But that limiting belief that we have to help people, everyone that asks, we have to help them. That's a big one too. So flipping that script and knowing that you are worthy of saying no and that it doesn't
Even
mean you're a bad person.
right, even when your boss wants you to take on an extra shift,
Yes,
and so you put off maybe seeing your kid's soccer game to do this extra shift. Was that time away from missing your child worth making your boss happy that you said yes when you could have said no?
exactly. And was the boss really happy or was the boss like, I'm going to ask them because they'll do it?
Exactly. And that's what it is.
Yes.
No one else wanted to do it. I know this person will. Simple. Cleaning the bathroom every time. You'll be the one doing the dirty work every time. Because it's
Exactly.
simple. It's the path of least resistance. It's normal. And that's where they're going to go. So you have to learn that, no, I need to see my kid play soccer or whatever it may be, you know?
Yeah. I have a special evening planned with my partner. It's my mom's birthday. I'm just really tired and need to rest. And I have the right to do that.
Yes, it's okay to not want to do something. Just, you don't need an excuse. Just, I
Exactly.
don't want to.
And you don't have to give a reason.
Right.
No, I
So
can't do it.
we have to really be nice so that we don't limit ourselves, because we don't want to limit ourselves. We want to rise. We want to be better.
Be as kind to yourself as you are to the person you love most in this world, because you deserve that. You need that. We all need that. And that is definitely a way that hypnotherapy can help if you find yourself stuck in these loops of limiting beliefs, because hypnotherapy gets past that critical mind, the gatekeeper, and into the subconscious and helps you plant those new beliefs. And it also helps you heal from the old beliefs.
Right. And I'm thinking that that's about all the time we had today. So if today's episode cracked something open, if it lit a fire or made you talk back to that inner critic, then go ahead and do what all bold women do. Share the truth. Just like and
Yeah.
subscribe and send this to someone who needs to flip their own script.
Yes. Share it with someone that maybe you've heard say something that you know is not true about them. And maybe it will open up a whole new world for them, that they'll realize their life can be anything they want it to be.
Right. And you can follow us wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a review. Leave a review if you're feeling generous or even mildly entertained. And
Yes. Yes.
we want to also invite you to our morning meditation challenge. If you find us on Facebook at Flip That Script, there will be every morning at, I always screw up my times. Holly, help
8
me out.
Eastern, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes. Yes. We start about 5 minutes after to give everyone time to get in. And just come, for the meditation. It's about 15 minutes long. And if you need to run after that, take off, go to work. Everyone's different. And if not, we keep the room open for an hour, starting at that 8 a.m. Eastern time until 9 a.m. Eastern. You don't have to stay, but if you'd like to stay and chat, ask questions, talk about things, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Hope to see you there.
So we thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week.